Hello, Honkers fans. Welcome into Meet the Honkers, episode 9. I am Justin Velazquez, and I am very pleased to be joined by first baseman Michael Brown. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. Busy day. I know for you, you had practice in class, so busy days for both of us
Yep.
here on a Wednesday. But I just want to get right into it. So you're from Vacaville, California. How did you get into baseball, Michael?
Well, for starters, my pops, he played baseball. He got drafted in the fifth round out of high school. He also went to Vacaville High School. So, I mean, ever since I started walking, he put a bat in my hand. So, started pretty early for me.
So, how important is your relationship with your dad?
Oh, I mean, he means the world to me. I mean, I can't even put it into words, honestly. Just being there for me on the field, off the field, just teach me everything I need to know in life. And just, yeah, like I said, words can't even really describe it.
So, was you in baseball something that happened naturally, or was he like, yeah, Michael, you're gonna play baseball, you're gonna get everything baseball since you're born, you know?
It happened. I mean, I'd be lying if I said he didn't like give me a little nudge towards baseball. But growing up, I mean, I played football, basketball, and baseball. Um, I was pretty good at football and baseball, but I just fell in love with baseball ever since I started.
So we're sitting here. It's Wednesday still. It's actually kind of late over here. I know it's 8 p.m. Your time. 2 days before the 75th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier. So just want to ask, how much does Jackie mean to you?
Oh, for me, he's everything. I mean, without him, me playing baseball could possibly not even be a thing, you know? So just everything that he went through, what he was like for the face of Black Americans who were playing baseball at the time. I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah, baseball has such a rich history, right? There's so many important people, players, broadcasters, etc. There's so much in the long history of baseball. But for you, how important was Jackie for the sport?
I feel like I feel like he's like one of the faces of the sport, you know. He was, I mean, in college, he was a triathlete.
Yeah.
He did it all, and then he excelled at that. He didn't just do it. I mean, he excelled at everything. And you know how it was back then, like everybody just trying to bring him down, but he just kept going through it.
Yeah. So as you've read or learned, watched movies about Jackie Robinson, what stands out to you about him?
I feel like his personality and his humility, really. Just always turning the other cheek, you know, just keeping his mind on the task at hand, which is for him playing baseball games and helping the Dodgers win.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to another infielder here, White Sox infielder Tim Anderson. I know your page on the University of Washington, it says that is your favorite player. And in particular, his energy and passion really stands out to you. So for you, how important is that for the game of baseball?
I feel like that's everything, honestly. You know, I know baseball, like historically, is pretty like kind of like laid back and chill, but I mean, you see football players, you see basketball players. When they play, they're leaving it all out there. They play with emotion, they play with that swagger, and the fact that he started to bring that into baseball, I feel like that's huge. You know, just being able to play freely like that and play loose, I feel like that it can only help you.
So for you, a guy known for your power, so when you bomb one 500 feet the first time in Rochester, are you throwing that bat up like 50 feet? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, it'll be up there for sure. It'll be up there.
You can just fling it up to the booth. I'll catch it. It'll be all right.
Hey, I got you on that.
But how important do you think it is for younger fans to see that passion and emotion coming out of professional ball players?
I feel like it's everything, I feel like it's just a gateway for them to know that it's okay to play with passion. Just play with your heart, because I mean it's the greatest game in the world. You can only play for so long as well. You never know when your last day may be playing. So I mean, every day you're out there, you just got to treat it like it's your last.
Is that something you really hone in on? Like, hey, if you're playing for Washington, right? This could be, you never know when the last game is, right?
Yeah.
We never know when our last day on earth is, you know? So
Yeah.
is that something you always try to take mind of?
For sure. I always try to not take any days for granted, just like from getting to the field, just hanging out in the locker room with all my boys, and then like in the stretching lines, and then while we're on the field practicing or playing, just always try to take it in, still like every day, because I'm from California. This coming up to Washington to play here and go to school here was my first time ever being here, but still every day at practice, I kind of just take a step back and then just observe where I'm at. And I'm like, wow, like I'm just so lucky to be here.
How has that adjustment been going from California to Washington?
Last year, it was a little bit of a culture shock. It's pretty cold up here. It's pretty hot down in California where I'm from. But other than that, it's not too different, honestly, besides the weather. But I mean, I got used to it pretty quick. I love it up here. It's like a second home for me.
Yeah. So before we get into your playing career, I want to talk about you as a player, right? How would you describe your game?
I'm definitely power. I'd say power in my game. I try to just impose my will in everything I do. When I step into the box, just know that I'm the baddest one out there, and that the pitcher, he should be scared to throw this ball over the plate because it can go very, very far.
Now, just an observation I just thought of, you look a little bit like Prince Fielder. Is that a comparison you get?
When I was a little younger, yeah, that was usually a comparison I got. But junior year and senior year of high school, I kind of shot up a little bit more. I mean, surprisingly, I wasn't like very, very tall in high school. I was probably around like 6 foot 6'1" until my junior year. Then I really got up to like 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". And then when that happened, I kind of slimmed down as well. And then that's when I started to hear some like Darryl Strawberry comps and stuff like that.
There's a Mets fan over
Fred
here,
McGriff, yeah.
so I'm with that one. So obviously power is a huge thing for you. Everywhere I read anything about you, it's this man has light tower power. He can crush a baseball whenever he makes contact. But beyond that, what would you say is your biggest strength after your power?
I'd say my glove. At first base, I can pick it pretty well over there, just helping my infielders out, just letting them. I always make sure that I let them know, like, just get the ball in the vicinity, and I'll take care of the rest.
So you go to Vacaville High School, two-sport athlete, baseball and football. You make the all-league team in 2018, I believe, for both sports. So how special of a season was that for you?
It was awesome. On that football team, we had a few players who played baseball also, so it was cool being with them year round. But it was really cool just being around like different guys and different personalities outside of baseball. Like one of my best friends on that team, he went on to play football at Oregon State. Actually, his name is Jake Levingood. But just it's cool to see like the different personalities and mindsets just between different sports. It's different. It's the same but different at the same time.
Is that something that could happen, in baseball too? I was talking to, I think it was Otto Grimm earlier in the series, and he was talking about how, there are different perspectives when you play summer baseball that you can pick up on things. It could click. A different perspective can click in your head a little bit. Is that something that can also happen for you in baseball, playing, high school to college and then summer ball?
Oh, definitely. Just especially from the summer ball aspect, because you're playing with the guys from all over the country, all over a whole lot of different schools. And I always thought like it's always baseball, it hasn't changed the past 150 years, but everybody has a different way of saying things. So you could like somebody could be telling you something you've heard it like a million times, but they just say it a little bit different and it clicks in your head.
Yeah. So
I think
back
that's
to,
cool.
go ahead.
Oh, no, go for it.
So back to high school, I mean, all the success that comes with a lot of attention, right? Perfect Game ranked you as the top first baseman nationally in your class. I saw that and I was just like, whoa, you don't see that often. When you see number one nationally. Like that's a huge thing. So that means like every game, every showcase, there's a lot of pressure on you, right? So how did you deal with that?
I just tried to just to remember why I play the game. I love it. I just have fun doing it. So I just go out there and try not to put any extra pressure on myself, and just to go out there and just remind myself to have fun.
What do you think you learned the most about yourself, not only as a player, but also as a person in high school?
I'd say just I'm really, really friendly with people. I'm really good with people. Groups, I just tend to, no matter like who I'm with or what kind of personalities I'm with, I can fit in with pretty much anybody. I
Is
feel
that
like
a
that's really cool.
is that a big thing for you, maintaining relationships and just kind of treating everybody how the way you would like to be treated?
Oh, of course. Yeah. That's something my parents have instilled into me and my sisters from a very young age.
So you commit to the University of Washington. Now you're a California kid, right? So you said it was a little bit of a culture shock at first, the weather, right? So when you first commit, what is going through your mind? Obviously, excitement, but take me behind that day when you commit.
Honestly, I wasn't really planning on committing that day. I just not I prayed the night before just so I can just asking God to lead me in the right direction. When I woke up the next morning, just something was just telling me University of Washington. So I just called the coaches. I was like, "Yep, I want to be a dog."
Was that like a drawn out process for you, or did it happen quickly?
It was kind of lengthy. I think I committed the my junior summer going into my senior year.
Okay. So it took a little bit. What other schools were you what stood out about Washington compared to the other schools you were considering?
The biggest thing was, this just the school itself. It's the University of Washington. It's really prestigious. It's top 10 public school in the whole country. So, education that comes first, no matter what. Like it goes God school, then baseball for me. So just that part really stood out for me. That's
I
really
know,
what drove that decision.
I know you mentioned church and God and praying before. I know on your page it mentions how that's really important to you. How much does that mean to you, maintaining your relationship with God and going to church?
That's for me, that comes first and foremost because I wouldn't even be in this situation if it wasn't for him. Just him giving me the opportunities in my life and just putting the people in my life who've got helped get me to this point. So I just always make sure to thank him every day.
So you're in your sophomore year at the University of Washington, right? What's been the biggest adjustment for
Oh, I
you?
gotta show you my sweatshirt. I got a little Jesus Papa
Hey, very nice.
sweatshirt.
Very nice. I'm just like bland here, just red. I gotta be like you. I just gotta get the sweatshirts like that. Um, but yeah, what's been the biggest adjustment for you though in college compared to high school ball?
I'd say time management for sure. Because, in the fall, we have 6 a.m. weights, then class all day, and then practice and meetings, and then got to go home and do my homework and everything, and then still get a good night's sleep. So I'd say learning how to manage my time was a big one.
And
But
how have you become better with your time management?
my advisors, they're really helpful. We set out a calendar to make sure like I know what schoolwork I'm gonna get done for each day of the week. So
Mhm.
it's really just set in stone. So I have no problems with it. So I'm not thinking too much about it.
So is that something you're doing? Is that like a every morning thing, every night thing, every, maybe the Sunday you plan out the entire week? How is that for you?
Yeah, I usually do it Sundays.
Okay. And
I
you're
go
planning
in.
out from Monday to Saturday, and you're
Yeah.
doing that every week. Gotcha. So after the season, you're gonna join the Honkers in Rochester, right? So how did you meet Andrew Urbistando and eventually decide to sign with the Honkers?
It's funny because he's a head coach at Delta College, and Delta's in Stockton, which is only about 45 minutes away from Vacaville. So I have a good amount of high school buddies and friends who go to Delta College. And
Mhm.
before they were I feel like they were kind of the ones who got my name into his head. But yeah, and then he called me one day, was asking if I'd be a part of the team. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then we just got to talking and like talking about my friends and like just how they're doing. So it was really cool.
Take me inside that conversation. Like, how long was that conversation?
I think we talked probably for a good like 15, 20 minutes just because, I'm up in Washington where I'm playing every day. They're down there, they're playing every day. So I was just getting caught up with them and then just getting to know Herb. He seems like a really cool dude. Can't wait to meet him in person for sure.
What are you looking forward to most about playing with the Honkers?
Oh, winning some ball games for sure. And meeting the fans and just the people of the city. I've heard it's a really nice town, so I can't wait to get up there.
I appreciate the time, man. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Honkers fans, for tuning in to episode 9 of Meet the Honkers. You can find Michael Brown smashing baseballs over at the University of Washington, and then later on this summer at Mayo Field in Rochester. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you for the next one.